Hold on, I'm still trying to move me. I like being up here better than down there. Okay, hi guys. Okay, the American Empire. Well, we became a country. Um, Declaration of Independence is 1776. Constitution is 1787. Okay. Okay, I'm not being rude about America. We are a baby country still in the 1800s. And I told you, baby countries struggle. Okay. Baby countries are always going to have their moments of struggle. That being said, I feel like America, even when we were a baby country, it's like we never really knew we were a baby country. It's like we were the cute little 2 year old meme that's like, "Rah," right? Because we have always just been like, we can do anything the big boys do, and we can probably do it better. We've just kind of always been that way. That being said, in the 1800s, even as a baby country, um, we want to be big dogs like everybody else. We want to have the big empire like England, or like other countries are having. But the problem is, at this point, we're late to the game. There's not a lot else to take. Okay, so I don't remember the order that it goes in the notes. I was trying to remember the order. I don't really remember. Let's just do the Monroe Doctrine first. Nope, 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 nope. It's not the Monroe Doctrine. I had to think of the order of the pictures. Okay, so do you see this island right here? Cuba, right here. Okay. Cuba was Spanish controlled. All right. It wasn't its own country. Spain owned it. And like in the past, during nationalism, when we talked about all of these Latin American countries kicking Spain out, well, Cuba is still Spanish owned. All right. Well, Cuba starts fighting like a revolution, a war of independence to kick Spain out, and we supported that. We wanted to help. Well, not really like fight help, but we supported the fact that Cuba was trying to kick Spain out. Okay. That being said, we also had citizens that lived there. So we send a ship to protect the US citizens that are living here on the island of Cuba. The ship that we send is this one right here, the USS Maine. The Maine is sent kind of not to really like fight, but to just be like a presence, just kind of chilling in the water so that Spain knows if you mess with Cuba, you got us. Um, we're a baby country. Spain is not near as strong as she used to be, but we're still a baby country. So we are still definitely flexing our muscles. All right. That being said, what happens to our ship? Same ship. Oops. The Maine blows up. Well, of course, we are like, oh my gosh, Spain blew up our ship. Okay, maybe not. We don't know. But we automatically assume that Spain torpedoed our ship, which I mean, right? Right. We don't know that for a fact, but that's what's assumed. And so because that's what is assumed by the American government at the time, we declare war on Spain. So we fight the Spanish American War. Okay. The Spanish American War, we do win against Spain, which you're probably like, how the heck did we win? Um, right? We're the new baby country. But see, Spain, if you go back and look at this map, Spain is like way over here, okay, way far away, because she's not sending her entire military. That's the way I should say it, to protect Cuba. She's like, if Cuba goes away, fine, whatever. Okay. So we're not fighting her full military. Now, understand too, though, Spain is nowhere near as strong as she used to be either, though. All right. So just that being said. And it's not like we suck as a military. We're doing all right. Considering we're a baby country, we're doing all right. We've already beaten England, not once, but twice by this time. I didn't give you a date. This is the late 1800s. So this is after the War of Independence. This is also after the, what is it, the War of 1812. This is even after the American Civil War. So we're feeling pretty good. We're pretty strong. Okay, people are looking at us like, all right, she's a baby country. She's a strong baby country. Okay, so whenever we win, again, you always get something when you win a war. We get several of Spain's little islands. Okay, so we definitely get Cuba, we get Puerto Rico. Where is it? Right there. Okay, we're also going to get some islands over here, not all of these, but we're also going to get some islands over here in the Pacific that Spain had owned. All right, so now we have an empire. Yes. By the way, I didn't touch this. Alaska up here. If you notice, Alaska at this point is not the same color as the rest of the US because at this point, Alaska is not a state. Actually, Russia owned Alaska. Russia's right here. Look at that. Boom. Russia sold us Alaska. So right now, Alaska is also a holding, a colony, if you will. All right, it's part of our empire. So at this point, we're feeling pretty good. We have an empire of islands plus Alaska. Okay, when you look at this empire compared to like England, it's like, so way to go, America. An island or an empire of islands. Who cares? Okay, listen. This empire of islands, especially over here, everything relates to something else in history. If we didn't have a lot of these islands over here, okay, we would have had a hard time dealing with Japan right here in World War II. Yes, Japan's going to take over a lot of these islands. Of course, we'll get there. We'll talk about it. But we had already had a presence. And so a lot of these people, not all, a lot of these people though already had some I don't want to say allegiance to us, but they had dealt with us before they dealt with Japan taking them over, and they liked the way we dealt with them better. So they're going to help us more than Japan. So just understand, it doesn't look like a lot. It's not like we have an empire. Yeah, but we have a little baby empire, okay? But it matters big time for World War II. Okie dokie. So just remember that. Okay. Okay. So we now have our empire. Yes. And it all started with one of our ships getting blown up. Yeah? Well, during the 1800s, oh, it's little. I hate when the pictures are little. During the 1800s also, we talked already in the nationalism unit about Spain getting kicked out of Latin America, right? So Spain has not just been kicked out of Cuba like they just were, but they've also been kicked out of Latin America too. So we have all these new countries in Latin America, Mexico and Venezuela and Colombia and Peru and Chile and all these countries that are newly independent countries, right? Well, other European countries would like to swoop in and take those Latin American countries. Guys, I told you, new countries, baby countries struggle. And all of these new Latin American countries that are newly independent, they're going to be easy to take over. So, especially England, oh, I'm sorry, European countries like England are looking at going in to take over South America. Well, parts of it. And they will take over little pieces of the northern coast, but is that good for us if they take over that? Probably not. England already has control of Canada at this point, okay, just north of us. We have fought them twice and won. We've embarrassed like the best navy in the world twice. It's not good for us if they also control a lot of land to the south as well as Canada to the north. It's not good for us. So our President Monroe passes the Monroe Doctrine. You should have talked about this in the 8th grade. The Monroe Doctrine basically says, look right here, look at that. Uncle Sam says, hands off. Europe, stay out. Basically, the Monroe Doctrine was saying any European country, or really any country, but anybody who decides to come into these new South American, Latin American countries and take them over, you're going to have us to deal with. We're going to protect these countries. Again, y'all, we're the baby country. We're flexing our muscles. We're saying, don't mess with us, but it works. It is going to work, oddly enough. And there's a lot of political cartoons. I tried to find several. I didn't realize it was so little. I'm sorry. But there's a lot of political cartoons kind of showing this. We have this guy right here is always going to be a symbol of England. Always. Right here. You have this guy right here. Prussia. Germany. This guy right here. I don't know if you know based on, because I mean, well, based on stereotypes, this is supposed to be Portugal. The guy back here is Spain. Kids always think that's Spain. This guy right here is supposed to be Portugal. And then this guy right here is France. Okay, so basically, Uncle Sam is protecting Latin America over here. And it says, no trespass. America is for Americans. It works. It's going to work. Now, there is a bit of a problem, though. Look at America. If you're over here in New York City, or if you're over here in Atlanta, Georgia, or if you're over here in, I don't know, Boston or I don't know, Miami or whatever, and if you want to get goods from over here to Los Angeles or way up here, Washington State, you have a little bit of a problem. Yes, we have the railroads, of course, but if you want to do ships, there is no way, no easy way to get a ship from over here to over here. Because if you look at North and South America, there's no way through. Look at, oh man, look at this picture. I like this one because it kind of shows you miles. If you want to go from New York to San Francisco, okay, again, there's no way through. So you have to go all the way around, which is approximately 12,000 miles, this says. Okay, well, somebody gets this bright idea. Why don't we just cut a canal through the smallest part and then we can just go bloop. Cutting the Panama Canal right here is going to cut this again. I mean, I'm just trusting this, but it's gonna cut, all right, a 12,000 mile trip down to a 4,000 mile trip, which of course is going to be faster. But it's also going to end up being cheaper as well in the long run because you can do like more runs back and forth. So, and I believe this wasn't actually our idea. I believe it was actually France's idea. But that being said, France starts this whole Panama Canal thing. By the way, just to remind you, a canal is a man-made waterway. Okay, so these men are like digging this. All right. That being said, the French started, but bless their hearts, they don't have the money to finish it. So it just kind of goes unfinished. And we're like, oh man, we America, we want that. The European countries, by the way, like Europe's over here, right? France wants to be able to get to her colonies in the Caribbean as well as to her colonies over here in the Pacific without coming and then going around. She would like to be able to go straight. So that's why European countries want the Panama Canal also. All right. So anyway, when France doesn't like finish building it, we're like, dude, we really need this. So and it's under Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt. We end up going to Panama and we're like, okay, we will help finish this. So we help finish that. And I love these pictures because they show you this sucker's big. Guys, we built this along with the French and alongside Panamanians are they Panamanians? Is that what you say? Panamanians? That's a cool word, by the way. But we help like build or help them build this. But this is huge. Look at this ship. Like again, I chose these pictures for a reason so that you could see how big this sucker is. To have a big cruise ship like that, that has to be way deep. By the way, what do you see right here? Huh. So anyway, the Panama Canal, there's another picture, yeah. Again, so that you can see kind of how big it is. The Panama Canal is going to be this economically amazing thing, not just for transportation of like people and stuff, but goods. Economically speaking, this is a big deal. All right, and I've read. I don't know. I was gonna say I would need to double check this fact. Don't quote me on this, but I have read that there's more traffic through the Panama Canal than anywhere else in the entirety of the Americas. Don't quote me on that, but I think I've read that at one point. Just because so many countries use it and stuff. So anyway, tomorrow, the big dogs, Great Britain. Bye, guys.